Hello and welcome back to Newfolle, our modded city Skylines series. Today we are building a green cities area and a zoo. I'm going to keep the commentary rather light and let you enjoy the time lapse. I think I'm probably not going to end up talking. I've tried to do this twice before now. Both times ClickChamp has ended up glitching out on me. This gridded area is going to be a high density and the curvy area is not. I'm going to be building the zoo largely off camera. Just ended up being like that. The zoo is a difficult build because it's on such a slope with such big non-terrain conforming assets. So I kind of had to I practiced it and I was like, this is perfect. I'm not going to get it this good again. So I took it, and so yeah, that's the issue. Just preparing our road layout. We want a bit of a straighter section there because we want to build a high street, and often and obviously in city skylines terrains, buildings work better on straight roads. Often I actually built this road layout with the intent to use industrial evolution, but it turns out I need to go and grab that pack quickly, so we're going to do that next episode because this episode gets too long. This is a very time-lapse heavy episode. I tried to save as much time as possible, but it does end up being a very long episode, so I do apologise for that. So I'm just going to quickly cut the top commentary and come back with you when we're doing something interesting with the zoo on time-lapse. We're going to do a path time-lapse and then cut to most of the things being done. And it's doing this weird looping thing for me, but it should be fixed for you. So yeah, path time-lapse and then I'll get back to you. So we just did the path time lapse, and hopefully this will work. One sec, I might just quickly. Sorry, I might be a bit behind now. We're building the zoo, obviously, and we're trying to merge these two enclosures. I built the zoo largely off camera, just ended up being that way. I'll have explained it earlier, but this is me trying to get the nodes and stuff. But as you can see, there's an extra node there, and I just need to remove it quickly. But this is an interesting technique using network multi-tool and move it and bulldozer and all of that, just to try and merge these two exhibits, the lion and the reindeer moose enclosures. An interesting combination, but it fits, so it's staying. This zoo is largely dictated over what fits rather than what makes sense, just how it is. We're also gonna go and build up one other side of the zoo, one other part of the zoo after this. So yeah, this time lapse is quite information packed. We're going to go into some live gameplay where we begin the Green Cities area. then we are going to go into a time lapse with a bit more of a voiceover at parts of it. Just to speed it up, I was going to do it in live gameplay, but I didn't. There we go, we get rid of it there. So, hurrah, we managed it. And so yeah, that's the plan. We kind of, if I scroll along my timeline here, then we go into our outro and cinematics as per usual. So nothing too special. So yeah, we're just, I put the amenities actually, some of the amenities outside of the zoo, purely for the reason that it's just not enough space in the zoo. The terrain didn't work. I actually tried it beforehand, just didn't work. So, which is fine, but that's just why I did it that way and not another. Often just good to explain these things, you know, explain why I'm doing something. Now, not what we wanted there, but I'm keeping it anyway. That's interesting. This doesn't stay. We actually remove all of this. We're going to fit another enclosure in there in a minute. But we're here for currently building some more amenities at this end of the zoo. Because obviously near the entrances kind of way, you're going to get lots of foot traffic wanting to buy some souvenirs from the amazing zoo that's built on the side of a cliff, because I'm an insane person. And I actually sort out that enclosure. I don't know if I do it on the time lapse or not, or off camera, but excuse me, as you can see the fences are all a bit janky and messed up, and that's just how it is at the moment. But I fix it with a bit of sloping. I realise we're going up and down again on Adams Street over on the left, so we can kind of sort that out a bit, which is fine. So yeah, I've largely sorted out this side, so it is really just sort out the other side, but yeah, I think I have done that after. So, I built the zoo. I haven't detailed it, obviously. I built it. There's a few reasons, and I'll have said it on while recording. On the voiceover of the thingy. I need to rebuild that road. Oh, a bit of ground tearing. Excuse me there. Starting off, let's press play. We've got the water tower. Just chilling over here. I quite like it. It was there before. I moved it a little bit. I love the water tower asset. I think it's just a fantastic bit of scenery, and it's really useful, really functional as well. So yeah, we got here. We have got. Oh, excuse my phone. Yeah, you probably can't hear it actually. Antelopes. That's cool. Pretty basic enclosure. Probably not the nicest of them, but we've got the metro line and the road to zoom in past. I'll follow you. 208. How far were you gonna get? Empty. Oh, nice. Then we got birdhouse. Let's see. Can we see the birds? Oh, you can. Some eagles. And in here, swans. Seems quite British. Are you sure these aren't red kites? Yeah, no, those are bald eagles, mate. Stop getting so self-obsessed with your country. Reindeer enclosure. Moose and reindeer. Ooh, fancy. I guess these are reindeer and these are moose. That's a reindeer. That's a moose. Well, I guessed wrong, didn't I? That's a shame. Got our elephants over here. Lovely asset, this one. I really like it. However, this feels like it needs path access, so it's a bit of a finagle to get the path to come here. Don't worry, you'll see it in the time lapse, but you know, it works. And so once it's detailed up, I'm confident this will all look pretty good. So no need to worry about that for now. And I do love what I love about Zook, the height differences. I mean, just look at this. It's crazy. And then using the elevated paths to connect it all up, I don't know, it seems to work. This is my first zoo I built, so feel free to criticize me. This is amphibian reptile house. That's cool. It's a cool asset. I think that's a good spot for it. It fit as well, but you can just see it. If the sun were to face the right way, you could just see the grand thing overlooking Paisley Square. I actually don't know where this is. What this is called officially. I haven't named this metro station. Nope. This is the Tarzia house. That came with the free update recently, and I think it's just a fantastic little asset. Pretty simple. It's a fantastic asset. It'd be nice if the animals did more than looked up and down, but you know, if we can look closely, see. It looks around, but it doesn't move. I don't know if it's the same on both sides, but it's a very nice asset. It's a bit of a contrast with the other zoo assets. It's a much higher detail. This needs moving down, but this is just a souvenir shop, just a standard admin kind of building. Here, what's this? Monkey Palace. That's cool. That's a cool asset, but you can see the difference in detail what with roofs in the Monkey Palace, and just the Tarzia house just crisper. This is an alright palace. It looks decent. Sorry about the camera moving quickly. It does that when I'm zoomed in close. Monkey house. It's got gorillas. That's not a monkey. Oh, stop being so stupid. So nitpicky. Doesn't matter. See, I think that's an accident, because I don't think for that I might change that now. That probably needs fixing. I don't know why we had the paths going through the enclosure, but we did. We'll have the height up like 10 meters. We'll have it going quite high above here, just as a bit of a bypass. And that's not ideal. I think pedestrians can walk on from the road, but I don't think too many people will do that. It shouldn't affect the zoo's profitability massively. Obviously that needs moving. I actually don't mind the kind of wonkiness of the connections. That's fine by me. We're gonna want that to go like that, and have a bit of a sharper turn there, and kind of a bit of finagling. Really should do that in the detailing time lapse, but I feel like you've had enough time lapses for now. Anyway, so giraffe house, looking good. Some nice tall boys over there. Of course, looking good. It might be good to provide path access over here, although looks like they can access it there, so that's really fine in my opinion. Coming up here, we've got a watchtower. That's from before, but I think it sits in rather well with the zoo aesthetic, so we're keeping it. And we got another moose and reindeer enclosure. Yeah, that was an accident. It's staying. It's staying purely because it was quite hard to put in. Because you'll have seen the detailing time lapse, and I probably told people. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. The lions go over the bridge. The bridge is a bit steep, but it's cool that they go over it. I kind of had to merge these assets. I didn't have to, but I chose to, and it was good fun. It was a nice challenge, and it worked well. Coming here, it's okay. We can have it. Let's say the zoo had too many of one species, and they had to get more. Oh, excuse me. I'm a bit tired. Over here, antelopes. Nice. Pretty simple enclosure. But I think it sits in okay. It does need detailing. And I actually don't mind too much these fences being a bit off, because they kind of go up with the terrain, so it sort of works. I think I might place some trees to hide it. But you know, that's fine. This needs moving down. Control Z. That needs moving down, not up. They seem to snap to terrain. I want them to snap the path they're on, but it's okay. And yes, I know this this kind of not new. This area is a bit of a shambles. I've just realised. This is stuff you should do on off camera. Yeah, but I've just seen it and I'm gonna forget later. That needs sloping out. That's good, that's good. And then this means Control H. That is what we're asking for. That's perfect. The street was going up and down again, which wasn't really helpful. And that's much better now. Yeah, I know these buildings are all abandoned. It's a supply chain issue. and we're just going to live with it for now. Not enough goods, so later on when we build some factories over here, that might help, that should help. But anyway, we're going to actually now jump into building our area. We've got our district done, but it's not really correct. No, we're going to take this with that, and then Green City is going to come over here and take this up. Perfect. So these Sunset Heights, the industry is going to expand in future episodes, but for now we're just going to do some over here, and we might do that first. I don't, wait, hold on, I need to check if I have Industrial Evolution installed. I might not. I might have to go and pick it up. Yeah, I don't have Industrial Evolution, so we'll do Green Cities first. We want high density by the metro line. We want it to come along these gridded areas. That's going to be some high density. Tallest by the metro line, shortest out here. To have that kind of build up in height. And then this is going to be nice low density residential where our tram is. We've got one tram running on the system at the moment, so the fact it's running here is pretty nice. It's a cool tram. It needs to be red. Do you really need red? Well, I don't know. I think we want orange. Let's go for a bit of a... Let's go for a nice deep orange. Bit less deep. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Very random, sorry. But the first thing we're going to piece together is the high street. Made this boulevard a bit straight at this section just so we can piece together a nice high street. And the first asset I'm going to place very promptly is the, if we go into parks and plazas, is the lovely shopping malls. That's not where it is. Unique buildings. Content creator. Ah, it's in here. Shopping malls. I'm going to want the medium grocery store. It's quite big. Do you have a small? I didn't realise there were so many assets here. Holy moly, I thought there was just a few. What's this? That's quite nice. We want one of these. And it might make the most sense. I was going to go grocery store, but it was a bit too big. If we relocate this onto this side, that's going to work a bit better. And then we'll just take it off this road a bit. And actually give it its own road. So we'll actually unbuild it. Yeah, that's a new word. Unbuild. Let me select the road. Definitely not bulldoze is the word we're looking for. We're looking for unbuild. Could we get this to be the same height as that? No. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Let's select this and we'll take it out. A couple more units. We'll just take it to there. We want this road to be the same height, so actually, could we control height that with that, and that control height with that? That's going to be much better. Just to get this building, because it kind of needs a flat space to sit fairly flat. That's going to be nice for us, I think. Yeah. And there are a few more buildings I want. High tech, we're going to be building somewhere else. So not actually in this tab. We're going to go along with how I usually do things. Surfaces. We're going to start with electricity. How are we looking with availability? We've got loads. Water. Got enough for the moment. If needed, we can up the amount of water production. Recycling. There's plenty around here. Medical. Right. We're going to place a medical facility. I love this one more. We have content creator ones. Don't forget. Medical laboratory. It's cool. It's not what you need. Would you mind I feel like the plastic surgery center would sit in here. I don't like the name of it, but I feel like that's a decent asset for here. It's quite tall, but I could say it's just a bit of a silly thing someone built at some point. It adds character, if you know what I mean. Like scrolling along, I actually think Well, let's look. We want the fire safety center. It's just such a good asset. And actually, we don't want it there. I'm gonna shove it here for now. But I didn't want it there because I want a corner asset there. Police. How are we looking? We need a bank, of course. Every town square needs town centre needs a bank. That's gonna sit in there quite well if I do a bit of finagling with Move It. Yep, we can do a bit of surface painter. Is that necessary? Might be appreciated, I think. Well, shall we just have a look quickly? Because I'm not sure surface painter is what you're looking for here, mate. Because you don't want to get it on the planters, do you? Let's turn off our snaps. I literally said turn off and it ignored me. How dare it? How beautiful. And then we'll shove this that way. How does it look? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's what I wanted. But I want to keep. We could remove that kind of. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the path node. Just remove that from kind of. That's difficult. That's the best you're gonna get, mate. All right, we'll settle for that. If you want, you can have a finagle later. So we've had police department and bank. I haven't had police department. What do we want? We will go for. There's not too many nice police departments in my opinion. We'll go for Hearts of Korea. I feel like Hearts of Korea is something that's going to pair very well, nicely with the Green Cities vibe. So that's what we're going to do. As for elementary, we are going to want the community school. I think it would be nice to have it here. Kind of out of the way, but it's fine. Actually, probably a positive. Institute of Creative Arts is a bit much. One sec. Apologies about that. Sorry, just kind of had to go do something quickly. So we've placed down our primary. Secondary school is a bit more of an issue where we're going to want it and what one we're going to use. I think we will have to use the base game one. There isn't a Green Cities high school, and it's going to go here, because what else are we going to get into this space other than some parkland, which wouldn't be objectively wrong, but it always feels like we put parkland in awkward spaces. What on earth is this bus line doing? That's going to need sorting out, and guess what, we're going to be doing it now, when I shouldn't really be doing it, because it's not very entertaining stuff. Well, jumpy game. And we're going to grab our network multi-tool as well. This is going to be a slope. And that's already looking so much better. Very steep, whatever. And that's alright, kind of done everything, university-wise. How are we doing? We have just about enough, that's good. Soon we are going to move on. We're going to build our industrial area. We're going to move on to our university. Whoops, didn't mean to press that, doesn't matter. Anyway, next thing we need to do is public transit, and obviously the first thing we should probably do is fix this road. And that's going to be a bit of an operation. How are we going to fix this road? Goodness, I love toggleable whiteness. It's such a game, not game changing, just the quality of life in it is incredibly good. And that's actually worked. We kind of snuck that in a way that kind of works. Right, shall we get this, and can we get a route guideline snap? Not really. We're gonna have to kind of do it like manually. That's gonna be okay. That's good enough. You can have slight bends at nodes, that's fine, as long as they don't look, as long as it's not too obvious. We'll move that node, and we will slope that node, just because it's quite steep there. This node needs sloping. I'm sorry. Just ain't gonna work. Right, there we go. And this node also needs squaring off. Lag, press the wrong button. Bump the mouse into something, press the right mouse button by accident. Whoopsie daisy. That's gonna be fine for now. The reason I did that was because, yeah, transit's next. And we've got our metro line running in through here. That's the university line, airport branch, that isn't actually going to stop at the university because it's express, but whatever. Seems to miss the point a little bit. Yeah, everything I do misses the point. We're going to take it in from our bus network, and it's just going to be a circulator. Obviously, first stop is going to be there, because that's a good place to stop. Could stop in the more of the heart, but I don't see it as necessary. We will stop there. And it's actually going to be, whoa. That needs to come down to here. Whoopsie daisy. Snapping nodes again. Add stop, sorry. Just trying to remember how to function it again. We've got bus lanes on these roads, we should use them. Okay, we will. We'll run some express buses at some point. But for now, I'm just thinking about how we're going to get this. Could we get another zoo entrance here? Or would it be excessive? I think we're fine. If people need to get to the zoo, they can walk over the bridge. It's not very nice. Do the circulator bus route and worry about it later. I don't think you need another zoo entrance. I think you'll be fine for now. Okay. Let's just draw this route in quickly. And I know I should be doing High Street, but we're working our way through services, so it's fine. What is going on here? Would it make more sense to... Okay. Don't really want that there. I'd rather have it... That works better. Yeah, and then have this one going the other direction. Seems sensible. Call it at the High Street. We'll do the tram stops next. Whoop-de-doo. Sorry if I'm being quite quiet. I'll be fine. Don't need to be complicated routes. Just small circulators. Get people onto the transit. Next thing we need to do is trams though. And do we have a miscellaneous? Nope. Tram already selected. Obviously we'll need to build the tram stops properly, but currently this will be fine. Just planning in where we want our stops to be. Just a couple of stops here. Yeah, that seems fine for now. Obviously this tram line's in direct competition with this bus line, but it's fine for now. So we're going to zone up some industrial evolution. First time zoning up, so you can do it with me. Do we have it selected? You're going to need to make a new district. Yep. Are you? Probably not, but it'd be sensible. That would be good. That'll do for now. Will it? Yep, it will. Select it. I haven't picked it up yet. We won't do that first then. Ooh, right. So High Street. In terms of High Street, what buildings do we want to plot down? Well, have you gone through everything? You still need to do parks. Oh yeah. Hotel parks. Yeah, I love the hotel parks. Parks. Small buildings. Anywhere. Where's the sidewalk cafe? Yeah, this is what I want. A sidewalk restaurant, now I want a cafe. It's just going to work better. We want it facing onto the main road. I'm just thinking about this, the specific design we want. What do we want? That's a bit boring, isn't it? That's probably the cutest one. That one might fit in the best. I'm not really sure what commercial specialization I want to go for green cities. If we have a wee look, district styles. What do we have for commercial? Of course, we have all of these special ones. I might actually go wall to wall, just for a bit of variety. Don't use wall to wall very much. And we'll just use it kind of sparingly along the high street. We'll get that. We'll get a 3 times speed going, and we'll cut into a time lapse now. Yeah, I know I didn't really do too much building in live gameplay, but at the same time you don't want to see me zone everything. Yep, sorry it's a lot of time lapses, but you've had enough commentary, so it should be fine. So I was gonna do these parks on camera, but again, time. I'm just trying to cut time wherever is possible. So I realised I forgot to do parks in the main talking, kind of preparing for the development segment. I just kind of got distracted, too excited, I guess. But so yeah, we're placing in parks now, and we kind of wanted to go more plaza-y, kind of in the high density, and we've got some sports fields. Kind of messed that up quite a bit. Because I was using I don't know how I placed that many at once, but whatever. Yeah, very speedy time lapse. I do apologise. But we're just going through and placing the parks, which is obviously quite important. But again, it's just how long do I want the episode to be versus how much talking. Kind of just. I have to balance it. I'm afraid I've done a pretty poor job of balancing it today, but it is what it is. I apologise for the length of the episode again. But yeah, just having some cool patterns with these tiny parks as well. Love the allotment version. Love all of them. Hotels and retreats, best part of it is the parks. Not because hotels are bad, but because the parks are wonderful assets. And to be able to have that in the vanilla game is just fantastic. I know I'm playing modded, but I play without assets to give myself that challenge to work with the assets we have in the base game. Pizzeria is just going to be the one because it helps transition away from green cities into the industrial that we're going to build this episode. But now going to build the next episode. Here, the skate park, it doesn't terrain conform, which is a good thing. I don't want it to do that, but it also means it's dangerous. If you see, you could kind of just drop off the edge, so we fixed that with a bit of fencing to protect people. It's just that level of realism. I mean, yeah, it has to make sense for me. It doesn't have to be perfect, but when I'm building a city, it has to make sense. There has to be a reason why something was done. So yeah, we make sure that happens here. So pretty much to the end of this, I'll jump into detailing. I'll give you some tunes to listen to. Goodbye. sitting at a very busy tram stop, and detailing is largely complete. I've decided we're not doing the industry today just because I want the episode to be short and sweet. Not short and sweet, it's already long. I don't want it to be too long, okay? Anyway, so we're going to go over our detailing, we're going to have our cinematics, we're going to be doing the outro, we're going to do all that stuff, and it'll be finished out late. So yeah, we'll start over towards our transit hub, where we haven't really done too much. I quite like the fact it is just a station. It's got some stuff around it, and it's really just overgrown forest, and it works. I don't know. Whoops, that was the game, not me. Just clarifying. I think the grass it's just simple. It's fine. It does the job. We've got lots of buses coming into here. It's exactly what I wanted to see. I'm very pleased with it. The metro is getting decent use. We'll ride along through the skyscrapers in a minute. We've decorated the high school. We've got a football/basketball pitch. I'm not sure how that would work if you have two games going on at once, but they can deal with it. Coming down here, just a place to chill out, and it's kind of nice. It's chill. It's a small, not too much detailing. Coming along, and most of what we've done is really just stuff it with live oaks. Lots of City Skylines creators love the live oaks. I can't say they're my favourite. I think that the reason they're not my favourite is because they are overused. But for a bit of variety for my city, we've used dark oak, live oaks everywhere, and it does look alright. It's very bushy, it's very nice. And the plan is to not really zoom in on these areas too much. It's just kind of suburbia. We've got small, tiny parks. These tiny parks are so versatile, but honestly, as I said earlier, hotels and retreats DLC, that's part of it with some parks. That's not to say the hotels weren't great, the park's fantastic. The tram's getting usage. It's quite nice. It's you know, it's alright. I love my trams. I really do. And then, so coming along, just greenbelt kind of detailing. It suits the green cities. We've got, and not all of this will be on camera, so try to be quite thorough. Over here, if you excuse the building, got just a bit of food detailing, just a bit of empty space on the high street. It's a simple high street. It does the job. It's quite nice. It's got all the services and that. I'm trying to remember if I placed a post office. I think I forgot. That's fine. But yeah, coming along here, really not anything vastly special, just trees, and kind of more tree patterns and paths connecting. Evidently I missed a bit of detailing over here. I'll come in after and just do kind of more of this kind of spruce pattern that we did around the shopping centre. Then along here we've got the part of the primary school, of course. Just kind of chill detailing, not too much to be done. Just a path and fencing and that. Just to kind of sell the idea it's a school, you know. We had a bit of empty space here, so we dropped in a carport, and that's getting well used. And this park I just love. Hotels and Retreats DLC park again, and it's just fantastic. The silver birch is I feel like it was a tree that the game was evidently missing, but we didn't really realise. Sorry about the creaky chair. And it's just so, I think it's the lighter green you don't see so much, and it just makes such a difference. It really stands out. So in the building time lapse, we kind of dropped in some green cities, just select 4x4 commercial units, and they're just really nice. Now coming along here, we'll just start with some simple, just place down that. It's okay, it doesn't always have to be going all out detailing. We can just leave some green space, but with this kind of pattern, I'm not sure if I did this out of the time lapse or in the time lapse, so I'm really pleased with it. Could do with some bobbing of the assets, but I don't know. I don't always like to bob because then you're stuck with that choice. I know it can't be much worse than the vanilla trees, but yeah. Over here it's kind of just gardens, I'd say, through the high density residential, you know, kind of taking inspiration from the stuff that you might see in London, with kind of a very manicured, kind of gridded up pathways, just not always gridded, but I don't know. I was like this. I really like how this looks. Each square / rectangle is slightly different, and it works in my opinion. We've squeezed in a bunch of tiny parks. This one's a really nice spot around these high rises. And over here, just a simple baobab tree. Ooh, it's kind of hard to get the right camera shots, which is pretty good because you don't have to worry too much about, oh, is my detailing that good, because you're not really going to see it so much. We've got a playground, and you've got another playground. Yep, you need 2 playgrounds on the same block. Over here, it's kind of like to be developed site. We've got some billboards and some rubble, and it just looks really nice. I didn't really know what to put here, and I'm just very pleased with that. It kind of works, like, to sell the idea that this is a really new development. Coming in here, some more of that kind of pathing idea I was talking about. This was an earlier iteration, so it's kind of less well thought out. And got just a plaza, promenades plaza. Height differences got a bit difficult over here, so ended up using a lot of overgrowth, which is fine. I actually really like the overgrowth method. It's just, I don't know, something about it just works. And a lot of this is under the metro, so it doesn't matter so much, but it is a lot of tree patterns. There goes the metro, of course. Looking really nice. I think we will kind of zoo. Didn't do too much detailing. I didn't think much was needed. It was really just the tree brush, and that just worked for me. Obviously the keys kind of and the tiering, and I'm so happy with this zoo. It's unique, you know. It's not a big zoo, but it's unique. And the tree brush, sure, there's some issues here and there. Let's get rid of these. Yeah, you thought I was going to manage a whole talking session without doing something, but no. It just works. The tree brush and the tree kind of everything. The trees. I love the trees. We've obviously fenced in the whole zoo and actually kind of gone along the metro and fenced it off. Obviously, a bit dangerous beforehand. I actually want it green over here before you point out, oh, that should have tree brush. I want it green. It's kind of, I don't know. It's nice to have green space. Open green space isn't a bad thing. But yeah, it really is just a case of putting in lots of trees everywhere and not worrying too much. Because you go fly by the zoo and it just kind of looks good with all the trees. You don't need too much detailing. I didn't really go for any plazas of any sorts. I just was like, the terrain just doesn't work for building custom plazas, or any kind of plaza for that matter. So I was like, we won't. So I'm gonna hop on the train just to have a look. I haven't actually done this. This will be my first ride. But hop on the train. Let's ride it into Paisley Square. It's Paisley Square station. And sorry for the metro being away. We'll run it at 3 speed over this bit of the viaduct because we don't need to see it. But I want to see it going through the high rises. We'll go through the high rises, of course, and then we will just kind of fade into the cinematics. So, thank you very much for watching. Do comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And cheerio.